What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and I'll be giving y'all the full card predictions for UFC 261. I can't wait for this card. It's a really, really good card. I think, 3 title fights, and the prelims are pretty good, man. Some good matchups, but yeah, man, let's get to it. The curtain jerker, Johnny Munoz Jr. versus Jamie Simmons. Jamie Simmons' last fight was Giga Chikadze, and Johnny Munoz's last fight was Tanay Manes. I thought Johnny Munoz Jr. won that fight, in my humble opinion. I'm a little biased. Johnny Munoz has very, very been supportive on the Instagram for eBay Fight Predictions. He's always been super nice, and he's always sent really nice comments on some of my posts. You can probably find him. So, out of bias, I'm going to be picking Johnny Munoz Jr., but I do think Johnny Munoz gets this done. He is a good wrestler, but he's been in the game a lot longer than Jamie. Jamie obviously has a really good wrestling background. Afro Samurai, I really respect the kid. He's a grinder. But and he took that fight against Giga Chikadze on short notice, and you could tell he wasn't prepared, but he was ready to scrap. So I respect that out of him. But I think Munoz Jr. just has the takedown defense, has the experience with the striking. I think the wrestling will cancel each other out, and I think he'll stick on the feet. And I think Johnny Munoz Jr. wins this. Jamie, he has a chance. If he's the better wrestler, he'll be able to use his wrestling and try to get a decision, but I just don't think he can do that to Johnny Munoz Jr. You see him with Henry Cejudo, you see him with a lot of good people. He's always trying to get work in. He's always, trying to get better. He has that mentality to get, 1% better every day. Obviously, Jamie Simmons has that, but Johnny, he's been doing it longer, so I'm taking Johnny Munoz Jr. in that one. Next fight, we got the female fight, Ariane Carnelossi versus Qileng. I mean, this is a really, really good fight, man. Ariane, her last loss was to Angela Hill via doctor stoppage. It was a cut. That was a year and 6 months ago. Her last one was against Caitlin Souza. She's very, very, aggressive. But she fights like a regular female fighter. Does not a lot of technique, a lot of hooks. But what separates her from other females is she's a lot more aggressive, and you can just see that's how I look at these females. Girls like Macy Barber, the reason why they got so far was that she was just super aggressive, and she was more aggressive than a lot of the other girls. That's where you can see how some of these prospects separate each other and how they get further into the divisions. And that's how I kind of look at these females. She's super, super aggressive, but this Na Ling girl, man, she's really, really good, man. She has a big reach advantage over her, about 6. It's Irene has 61.5, and Na has about 67.3. She has a really, really big reach advantage in this fight, and she's a good grappler. I think she's gonna go for the takedown, and I'm actually gonna pick her. I'm taking her by second round submission. I think Irene's, her aggressiveness will help her, but I don't know, man. I just she has more fights, and I don't know why. I just have this weird feeling Irene's gonna lose. Usually I would always go with the vet, but she's not that much of a vet. She lost her UFC debut. I don't really think they're that separated by experience. I think Na Ling is gonna beat this girl, so I'm taking Na Ling by second round submission. Obviously Irene can win this fight. She can be super aggressive and super mean, and kind of put it on her and just make Ling go for bad takedowns, but I don't see that happening. She can, but that's one way I can see her winning. Next fight, Jeff Malonga versus Qileng Aori. I think Qileng Aori, or Aori Qileng. I think that's how you say Aori Qileng. This is a good fight, man. Ari's super, he has a lot more experience, 18-6, compared to Jeff, who's 8-2, but and he's a lot older. Aori is 27 compared to 23. They do have the same reach by, it's separated by 0.3. Height, Aori's 5'7", Jeff is 5'6", so not really big differences. Aori's super wild in there. His last fight, I think it was a flying knee or some shit like that. Yeah, flying knee over Kaziri Abdulov, and I was really impressed with his killer instinct to get it done and just to throw that knee. But I did see he did get taken down a lot. Jeff Molina, you watch some of his fights, he's very well-rounded. I think that's a good way to say it. He's very well-rounded. He has decent striking. I think he will get this done by decision. I think he can use his wrestling to get what he needs to get, and but I think Aori has a really good chance You know, he has that killer instinct. He's always live for a knockout. You know, but I'm taking Jeff to get this done by decision. Next, by Rong versus Rodrigo Vargas. Man, this is a really, really interesting fight, and Tapology has 87% are going wrong, and I think Rodrigo Vargas has a real good chance of winning this fight. You know, both, you know, Rong is 17-3. He does have a reach advantage of basically 1. You know, 72.4 for Rong and 71.5 for Vargas. You know, he's obviously the younger guy. He's 21. He does have more fights, which is interesting. Vargas is 35, and he doesn't have that many fights, but I think he's been training longer. That's what I'm going to assume. Vargas' last fight, to me, was basically a win against Brock Weaver. He showed a lot of killer instinct, and he just looks very experienced and can give Rong, some problems. You know, Rong had a really good debut. But, oh, no, did he have a good debut? I might be confusing him. No, he did not have that good of a debut. I'm sorry, y'all. I was thinking about somebody else. You know, but he did win his fight by first round KO. You know, this is his debut fight in the UFC, but I don't know, man. I don't think Vargas is gonna go out there and lose like this, you know. I get he's the favorite. You know, I just think I just have a weird feeling China's gonna do really well on this card. You know, I think the Chinese fighters are gonna do really well on this card, so I am gonna take him. But if anyone's picking Rodrigo Vargas, I wouldn't blame you. I really wouldn't. I'm gonna take him by decision. I think Vargas is pretty tough. Yeah, I'm gonna take him by decision. But it is what it is. Next fight. This is who I was thinking about. Danaa Bartegla, I think that's how you say his name, versus Kevin Natividad. Danaa, had a phenomenal performance in his last fight against Guino Catelli. That wasn't his debut, actually. It was actually his debut was against Haley Alatang. He lost that by decision, which is interesting. He probably got grapple fucked. This is a really good fight, man. Kevin Natividad is coming off a knockout loss to Miles John, which was a great fight. I really thought it was a really fun fight. Kevin has been scheduled for a lot of UFC fights. In terms of the age, you know, Danaa is 31, Kevin is 28, so Kevin's the younger guy. Kevin does have more fights. He does have a record of 9-2. Danaa has a record of 8-2. Both guys are similar in reach. The same. Both of them are 70. Height, only 1 inch difference. Kevin is shorter by 1 inch, and Danaa is taller by 1 inch. So, this is a really, really close fight. I'm going to take Kevin Natividad to win this fight. Even though I thought Danaa's performance was really, really good, I think Kevin knows he has to use his wrestling to win this fight. You know, he learned, I think, a valuable lesson about just trying to, you know, kind of putting his head in bad positions, you know, in the clinch like that, and he got rocked really, really bad by Miles John. And I don't like picking guys after they come off like devastating knockouts like that, but I think he knows what he has to do. I think he knows his you know, he wins a lot of his fights through his grappling. You know, he has good striking. He's not bad, but I think Kevin is he's gonna get this done by decision. I'm going with it. But obviously I can see Danaa knocking him out, man. That check hook he landed on his last opponent, man, wow, like he knocked his ass out. Next fight, Tristan Connelly versus Pat Sabini, man. The return of Tristan Connelly, man. That's cool. He hasn't fought in a minute. Yeah, a year and 6 months, and his last one is against the GOAT, Michel Pereira. I think that's going to be his only accomplishment in this world. I don't think Tristan Connelly is that good. He's a grinder. He works hard. You know, he's good wrestling. He's decent boxing. But I don't think there's anything that really separates himself. He doesn't have an edge. You know, he does have a reach of 68 coming into this bout. He is 5'10". Pat Sabini is shorter. But I just think Sabini was supposed to fight, I think, I forgot the guy's name. Rafael, the guy that missed weight by a lot. You know, he's 30 years old. I think Sabini is going to get this done, man. I think Sabini is going to beat Tristan Connelly. I think he's going to stuff the takedowns. You know, last time, I feel like Connelly kind of got lucky that Michelle Pereira fought like a dummy. I think Sabini's gonna get this done, take him down, outwork him in all the areas, and I think he gets a W here. I'm going Sabini by decision. I know a lot of people love Connelly. 69% is going with Connelly, and 31% is going with Sabini. Man, I just feel like he's 35 years old. You know, this is his last year for his prime. It's not like he had a great career. You know, that Michelle Pereira fight came in short notice too. That's what I'm thinking, right? Yeah, he wasn't fighting in the UFC like that. He is on a 5-fight win streak right now, or he's won his last 5. But you know, he's probably on a longer streak. But yeah, I think Pat Sabini is getting this done. Brendan Allen versus Karl Roberson. Awesome fight here, man. I love this fight. Brendan Allen comes with a record of 15-4. You know, he's fighting at a Louisiana. Oh, he's not fighting at Louisiana. I think he's fighting at a... I don't think he left Rufus Sport. I don't know why. Why did he leave Rufus Sport, by the way? I do wonder that. He's training at Stanford MMA. The last time I followed them on Instagram, so that's the last I seen of him. So that's interesting. Karl Roberson is a good fighter, and I know he looked like a complete bitch, but he lost to the number 3 guy in the world, the GOAT, the future champion Marvin Vettori. Remember that. Don't argue with me. It's a fact. I know Kendall out here mad as hell. I just said that. I just playing with you, homie. But this is a good fight. In terms of reach, Brendan does have a 1-inch reach advantage, and he is a little taller. This is all dependent on Brendan Allen. How does he want to fight this fight? How does he want to be remembered? Does he want to be remembered for a guy that has fun fights but gets knocked out? Or does he want to use his skills, wrestle, use his grappling, and win fights and maybe get a winning check instead of a losing check like he did against Sean Strickland? I don't know. It's all dependent on Brendan Allen and what he wants to be remembered as and what does he want to do with his career. Because, I was shocked what he did with Sean Strickland. He just went out there and tried to strike, and I was like, whoa, is this guy retarded? So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, Henry Hoof told him, hey, man, you're a great kickboxer. I don't know why. Maybe Henry Hoof was lying and told him, hey, man, you can probably outstrike Sean Strickland. Just go out there and don't use your wrestling. And he went out there and didn't use his wrestling. Maybe he just didn't see the opportunities for the takedowns. That's a big thing. But it is what it is. Karl Roberson is dangerous. Karl is, on paper, he's one of the best strikers, or at least best kickboxers in the roster, man. And he was like top 10 in Glory, right? So you kind of have to respect him a little bit. I know he came out. Hey, man, the shit he pulled. With that Marvin Vettori situation, I never thought Karl was like that. I lost a lot of respect for Karl Roberson, but things happen. I'll forgive him, but I'm gonna take Brendan Allen to get this done because I think he has a brain. I'm gonna assume he has a brain. I'm gonna give him a second chance and assume he has a brain. If he loses this, I'm gonna take this because I knew he didn't have. I saw that he showed he didn't have a brain in his last fight. So if he gets knocked out, I'm not even gonna blame Brendan Allen. I'm just gonna blame myself for not being smart. So because he's shown that his brain goes away sometimes, and fight IQ is not his friend. But it is what it is. And hey, Karl can win this fight. He really can. I wanna say that. Next fight, my boy Dwight Grant versus Stefan Zulik. I think that's how you say his name. Good fight right here. Matchup wise, both guys. He does. It's not like I assumed Dwight would be way taller and have a longer reach, but no, man. Dwight, has only a 1-inch reach advantage. He's a little taller than this cat. This is a good fight, man. Stefan's coming off a loss to Ramzan Emiyev, and Dwight is coming off. A bad knockout to Daniel Rodriguez, but it was a close back and forth fight though. And he hurt Rodriguez, and I was just so excited. And I picked Dwight. I like Dwight a lot, AKA guy. He's went through a lot. He's 36, so you could say he's past his prime. But this is, a high-level guy, a high-level striker, a very experienced guy. Luke Rockhold said it. This was his main sparring partner for the Chris Weidman fight, and he gave him good work. A lot of people said, man, Dwight Grant can be a future champion. After his win over Alan Jouban, he just took a big layoff and didn't fight. Maybe like 2 years or a year, and I think he had a really bad injury and he couldn't do it. But I think now he's back. He has accolades in Muay Thai. Amateur Muay Thai champion, amateur kickboxing champion. He's very, very seasoned. He's not like a technical striker. He's always looking for those power shots. But man, when you see some of his knockout combos, the overhand to hook combo, lead hook. I mean, it was phenomenal. One of my favorite KOs of all time, man. That fucking Contender Series knockout was great. Stefan is very technical. He's not stupid. I think he's gonna have to wrestle in this matchup. But I mean, dude, it's in Dwight's nickname. He's a body snatcher. I think Grant gets this done by second round knockout. I'm picking Grant. It's my boy, and I think it's just, he's gonna rebound big after that last fight. Next fight, Randy Brown versus Alex Oliveira. Awesome fight here, man. Both guys coming off losses, but I think we're going to see a lot about levels in this game, man. Randy Brown came off a loss to the I think 6th guy in the world in Vicente Luque. Man, just a guy that beat a former champion in Tyron Woodley. Whatever you want to say about Woodley, it is what it is. He beat that guy. I didn't see that coming, so he proved me wrong. Randy Brown went out there, and he did all right against Luque. He got a few takedowns, but he ended up getting finished in the second round. He got shown that there's levels to this game. He does have the reach advantage, and he does have a height advantage over Alex Oliveira. Alex Oliveira, on the other hand, is coming off a loss to, what's his name? Shavkat Rakhmonov, man, and he got destroyed, and he got submitted really, really badly. Oliveira does this, man. Sometimes when his back is against the wall, he'll go on a 2-fight losing streak. I see people like, oh man, you guys should respect Oliveira, but he's lost though. Like, he's done this before, so I think Oliveira is actually due for a loss in this matchup, and I think his next fight he'll win. If they give him a contract, it's all depending on if they want him, but I think Randy Brown's just gonna outpace him. And you never know, the judges, sometimes they can be blind, and they might still give it to Randy Brown. Brown's a black boy, they like. You're a black boy, so you never know. They might give it to him. I'm black too, y'all. Don't get mad about that. Yeah, I got Randy winning this. I got Randy winning this by decision. Next fight, Anthony fucking No Heart Smith. Nah, I'm just playing. Lionheart Smith versus my boy Jimmy Crute. This is a good fight, man. I'm taking Crute. And this is actually, I mean, Smith does have the reach advantage coming into this matchup, and that's what kind of scaring me a little bit. But I mean, he does have the experience. He's had a lot of fucking fights. He's fought for a world title. But I think Crute is ready for him. Maybe a year ago, maybe he wouldn't be. As much as y'all know my channel relationship with Smith, we've completely ended that guy and his fan base. We sunned them. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I did, he got me. I did pick Devin Clark. So, but hey, man, Glover and fucking who else? And my boy Rakic, the GOAT, future champ. That's to all the Yuri fans out there that feel some type of way about that. We ended this dude's career. We had him crying. Dude, man, it was so funny, man. That Glover fight was just beautiful. You guys really thought Glover was going to go out there and lose to that bum. And now he's fighting for a world title, man. I laugh at y'all. But it is what it is. I think Crute gets this done. I think Crute, he's better. Like, I really do think he's better than this guy. I mean, he works harder. He's hungrier. He wants to fight. I don't know what Anthony Smith's motivation is anymore. Is it just to get checks, for his family? I don't know. He is with a good camp. James Krause, they're not losers. I will say that. They don't like to lose, but they are going to lose this matchup. They don't win all of them, and I think Jim Crute gets this done by decision. I think Crute's going to have to wrestle. There is I feel like Smith might be the better striker. And I do think Smith's guard game is somewhat overrated. I mean, yeah, he can submit a tired Volkan Ozdemir and a Devin Clark, but I don't think he can submit this kid Crute. Even though he has been submitted by Sorkinov, but I don't think Smith got that in the bag. But it is what it is. Anything can happen in this sport, y'all. Anything can. But I got Crute by decision. Next up, Chris Weidman versus Uriah Hall 2. I do have a breakdown on this fight. I can't wait to talk about it. But I'm taking Uriah Hall by second round knockout. So y'all know me. I've had. I mean, dude, my rematch rule has been completely destroyed. Y'all know about my rule. I don't usually pick the guys that lost the first fight to win the second fight. And this year, I mean, this has been the year of revenge, right? And I've suffered for it. I picked Conor to beat Dustin in the rematch. Dustin surprised me, but I learned from my mistakes. I licked my wounds, and I picked fucking Francis Ngannou to destroy that old white man and Stipe Miocic. But I think this is a really interesting matchup. Here's the thing: I feel like the rematch rule that I had in my head, if somebody loses by decision the first time, most likely they're not going to win the rematch. If it's a knockout, there's a really big chance that somebody can rebound from that. Because if it's like, the knockout and the timing of the rematch are very close, then yeah, maybe the first person might knock them out again. But if there's like a big time gap in between when they knocked them out the first time and the second time when they're supposed to fight in a rematch, I think some people can mentally recover from that and come back. And we saw Dustin do it. We saw even Stipe do it when he lost to DC that first time. I think Uriah Hall, I know people be hating on Hall after he just fucking raped that old man Anderson Silva. I think he's mentally rebounded. He's left King's MMA. I think good on him for leaving that gym. I think they lost faith in him. I think they're more dedicated to Kelvin Gastelum and Marvin Vettori, and I don't blame him. Those guys are future champs. He's training with what was the guy's names? Not Tiger Schulman's. Oh man, Fortis MMA. He's training with Fortis MMA, and that's awesome. He's getting that work. And I think that loss he had to Weidman was a knockout, y'all. And we know Weidman doesn't have knockout power like that, And yeah, if you give him your chin, yeah, he can kill you. But I think Uriah Hall is going to be defensively sound. I think he learned from the first fight. I think he's actually getting better. He looked, really, really not that bad against Anderson Silva in those championship rounds. Not the championship round, 3 and 4. He looked really good. Now in the first one, I was ready to start putting money on Anderson, but I stopped myself. I was like, you know what? If he continues to bitch out by the third, I tried my best, but it was live betting is kind of super hard. But I considered it first. I was like, dude, this guy's gonna bitch out again, huh? But I don't think these older guys can make him bitch out. I think the top 5 will beat Uriah Hall and put him back in his place. But he's on a 3-fight win streak. I think he's gonna make it 4. Weidman looked terrible against Omari Makadev. All right, and Omari's a good fighter. Actually, I actually thought Omari was gonna win that fight, but he lost the second round. I don't think his wrestling is as good as it used to be. And I think Hall is going to get a second round knockout, man. I really do. I think he's going to knock this man out. But Weidman has a chance to repeat history and just put that grind on him. But, in Hall, he's susceptible. And Hall has, and sometimes, the thing with Hall, he can get knocked out by wrestlers if he's thinking about the takedown too much and he leaves himself open. But I think he's sharpened up a lot of his skills, sharpened up a lot of those knives, and I think he's going to beat Weidman. I really do. This is a good matchup, though. I like it. It's fun. And in the championship fights, I've breaking these down, so go check that out. Next one, Jéssica Andrade versus Valentina Shevchenko. I know you guys are all going to call me crazy, but I'm taking my girl Jéssica Andrade by decision. I think she's going to give Valentina some work. This is the hardest opponent Valentina's ever fought in flyweight. Jéssica is a monster, and her wrestling will be a problem. And if Valentina thinks she can out-wrestle this girl, she's going to get smacked up. I'm taking Jéssica Andrade by decision. I think she's going to shock the world. That Jennifer Maia fight opened a lot of eyes, and Andrade is coming, bro. She better knock her out, man. That's the only way I can see Valentina. Maybe she can repeat a Joanna kind of, decision, but I don't see it. In the co-main event, a Weili Zhang versus Rose Namajunas. I also have a breakdown. This will be coming out. So the breakdown for Valentina and Jéssica, that's on Wednesday. This one's coming out on Tuesday. So I'm taking Zhang by 4th round TKO. Obviously there were some comments made by Rose Namajunas about the politics and stuff like that. I don't care. I wasn't that offended by it. I'm not the biggest fan of Weili. I think she's a little overrated, but it is what it is. My girl Zhang Yan, she's gonna beat Carla Esparza, and all Weili is doing is holding that belt for the GOAT Yan. and she's gonna beat her. But yeah, I think Weili gets this done. I think Rose looked horrible in the third round against Jéssica, and I don't know how well she's gonna do in championship rounds. Even against Joanna in the second fight, 3 and 4, she lost. She won the 5th round only based on a takedown. I think Zhang, if she can overcome the jab that Rose possesses, and she just move her head and dictate the fight with power, I think Weili, can win this fight. Obviously, I can see Rose winning this fight. Anyone picking Rose, dude, I don't like any of these. Both of these girls, I think they're overrated. But anyone picking Rose right now, I give you guys a lot. She has a real chance of winning this fight. And some of these people acting like crybabies over these comments that Rose said. Like, I swear, like they're acting like they like from China or something. Like man, chill out. It's just like, stop, man. Don't get your panties in a twist. But I mean, Rose has a real chance of winning this fight. She can just outbox her basically for 5 rounds straight. Weili, she might go for some takedowns. I don't see it. But yeah, it is what it is. But I think what Zhang should do is, chop them legs down, and I think she can win this fight. And in the main event, the rematch, Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal. This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to talk to Usman right now. Do not forget you wrestled in Nebraska, and you're a Division II national champion in wrestling. In folk style. Do not forget that, dude. Do not act like you are Earl Spence or something like that. Because I know you like retweeting his shit. Alright, you are not a boxer. Even though I might not respect Street Bum has some good hooks. He can box. He can knock somebody out. He can knock people out, right? I need to tell Usman, you want to finish this guy, finish him where you're comfortable at. Don't listen to these dum-dums telling you, hey, man, you got the best jab. No. You got a good double leg. You got a great clinch. You have phenomenal foot stomps. Do what you got to do. Take this guy down and fucking put a hole in his face, all right, on the ground. Don't do it on the feet because you're going to get lit up, all right? Please. Hey, man, if Jorge becomes champ, it's over. I'm done. I don't know if I could take it. Usman, we're all praying for you, brother. Take this dummy down. I'm taking Usman by 3rd round TKO. Bro, please. Please, bro. Do not let this dude win. Please. That's all I got to say about the main event. I got Usman by 3rd round, ground and pound. I think he's going to take him down and smash on his face. Smash a fucking hole in his face, bro. All right? Please. If you do that, I will never call you Marty again. If Usman could do, I will never disrespect Usman again. If he can finish him in 3rd, I will never say Colby Covington is better than him. Even though that's my boy. That's my guy. I will never say that. I will call Usman the GOAT if he can get it done. And I mean that. I shake on it. Like real talk. So please, Usman, get this done. But it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love y'all. Goodbye. Don't forget to follow me on my Twitter. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram. If you're new and if you made it this far, subscribe, like, comment, share the video. Go click the notification button. Let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing. Love y'all and goodbye.